One moment, please.
An honor to see you here today, Your Highness. Now, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the Warrior King to make his triumphant return?
Who is this Warrior King?
Our champion. It's a title given to the strongest fighter in the country. This one is the 8th King, the strongest this arena's ever seen, so it can be difficult to find a suitable challenger for him.
I take it today you found one of them?
Apparently the matchup was decided at the last minute. Even I don't know who it is. They've likely kept it a secret to garner even more excitement.
I've heard of this great king of yours, so I know he's actually a war troll. He might be a useful ally, assuming he would heed your command in battle.
But the theocracy believes that mankind is the chosen race of the gods. You wouldn't mind working with a troll?
It was a personal remark, not an official stance. But enough talk. Please answer our questions. That will decide what comes next.
Of course, just a moment.
But before our champion takes the stage, I'd like to introduce today's challenger to all of you. This is a name I'm sure you all remember. King of the Sorcerer Kingdom, His Majesty, Eins Ur Go!
Eins Ur Go? Why? It can't be. How did he know?
It's a setup! Everyone, wait!
We came in good faith, and you treat us like this?
It's not me!
But you were the one who decided on this meeting place.
That's beside the point. Listen, I'm as scared as you are. What do you think I have to gain from this?
There's no reason for us to trust you. Were you offering our lives to the Sorcerer King? Or perhaps you were telling us to join you or die?
Neither! You've got this all wrong! How did the information leak? Or maybe it didn't. And he knew everything from the start. He just watched and waited as I ran straight into his trap. Hurry! Run away!
Jack me rune fall Lord El Neeks. It's been a while, hasn't it?
Indeed, it has. What a pleasant surprise. It just seems so unlikely that we would meet here like this.
Yes, and yet here we are. The power of coincidence can be quite frightful.
If this information leaked, what else does he know? I was so cautious. Nothing is safe. In one move, he's crushed my alliance with the Theocracy and sent both of our countries spiraling!
Are these associates of yours, Your Highness?
I see. It's a test of loyalty. He's forcing me to either protect the Theocracy or sell them out and ally with the Sorcerer Kingdom.
Forgive me. I cannot offer a proper introduction. I'm afraid that an urgent matter came up requiring my immediate attention. I'm sure that His Highness would be happy to fill you in on the details.
How unfortunate. Don't let me keep you. I'm certain we'll meet again soon enough. Until then, please stay in good health. What's wrong, Elnix? Or may I call you Master Jim? Are you feeling unwell?
No. I'm doing fine.
I see. The body is a treasure. You have to take care of it. Well, better get to that match. We'll speak later.
You thought to ensnare us.
I'm the victim here!
How can we trust what you say? This is an act of pure cowardice. I shudder to think what you took.
I didn't say a word. It was all a trick. What can I do to make you believe me?
You've lost all credibility with us.
Wait! Before you go, please give me your temple's opinion. I need to know your position on the Sorcerer King.
He's an evil undead, there's nothing to say. We refuse to acknowledge him as a king no matter what. That is why we are currently looking for a means to destroy him. If you question such a thing, then you've fallen for his trickery. Do what you will, but we will never play a part in it.
I'm sure this is just what he planned for. He's cunning after all. Far more than me, I fear. Even though I'm sure you'll find it hard to believe, there's something you should know before you make plans. The Sorcerer King has proven to be a benevolent ruler. The people of Irantel seem to be living in peace.
Even if that's the case, we don't know how long his mercy will continue.
But they're safe right now, so please avoid any hasty actions that might harm our country. And one last thing, I want you to watch this next battle from somewhere in the Colosseum. If you find that he has any weaknesses, please tell me.
Perhaps there'll be more to discuss later.
And here he is at last, making his dramatic return. It's the hero of the Colosseum, the most powerful fighter in all the land. Let's hear it for the Warrior King!
I can't win against the Sorcerer King's cunning. I can only place my bets on the power of the human heart. Warrior King, give him your word!
And here he is at last, making his dramatic return. It's the hero of the Colosseum, the most powerful fighter in all the land. Let's hear it for the Warrior King!
Forget everything you've seen today.
Of course, my lord.
There's no doubt that Nazarick is an overwhelmingly powerful force, but I still worry. There's an enemy out there with a world item, and we don't know where. The world domination approach has gone well enough, and I know that's what everyone else wants.
But I must bestow love upon those I rule over as well. This is my kingdom after all. I must show it proper care and affection.
Absolutely, my lord. I agree.
Then, let us create a utopia. A land as sweet as honey. A dream that never ends. A carrot and stick approach, perhaps.
Come to think of it, I might be onto something. I could even see this bringing us some good publicity, which is exactly what I need to recruit adventurers.
What a splendid idea!
Pardon, Your Majesty. This city looks familiar, if I may ask. Is this Arventar, the Imperial capital?
That is correct.
I see. Then is there a reason we didn't pass through a checkpoint?
A trivial detail.
Kings entering other countries unannounced is an international issue.
Do not fret. Master Onyx and I are on good terms. I'm sure that he will look the other way.
If you say so.
There's good reason for our secrecy. If Jerkmead knew I was coming, he'd throw a formal welcome for sure. Last thing I need is for him to find out I know nothing about noble society. I intentionally used a gate spell so that we could sneak into their country on the down low.
Excuse my bluntness, but what are you planning to do here now that we've arrived? I think it's time that I learn the plan.
I intend to invite the adventurers from the Empire to my kingdom.
You're saying this is a recruiting mission?
Indeed.
There is potential. However, are you sure they would uproot their lives and leave everything they gained behind? This will be a hard sell. It's a lot to ask of people.
This is exactly the sort of opinion I wanted to hear.
Sorry if I overstepped my boundaries.
No. I am a different type of entity from you. That's why some of my reactions may vary from those of a typical human being. Please continue to voice your concerns so that I may adapt.
All right. Then allow me to add this. You mentioned previously that you want to have adventurers to explore the unknown, correct? And that you would give us your unconditional support for that purpose. Then I must ask, does that generous offer extend to the new recruits as well as the ones we have now?
That is my intention. Creating an institute to nurture adventurers is the point, after all.
I didn't realize you thought that far. Then wouldn't it be a good idea to gather and raise some fledglings? People admire the strong, don't they? This is the Imperial capital. Why not publicize your mission by showing off your power at the Colosseum?
Ah, now that is a clever idea.
Do take note. The Empire has an infamous champion. Warrior King is called.
That is quite a hefty moniker indeed.
He's the current title holder. And although he's the 8th man to carry that name, he's the strongest so far. I just so happen to be acquaintances with this promoter. And if you like, I can arrange a meeting with him for you.
Look at the size of that place! This guy must be rolling in it. Then again, he is the promoter for the greatest champ the Colosseum has ever known. I'm sure that's pretty lucrative.
Looking good. As requested, I've set up a meeting with you for you. So be ready by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. I imagine we could squeeze in sooner, though. If you knew it was you asking for a private audience, you might swing for it right now.
That won't be necessary. We should be thankful he's available to see us so quickly. What is it?
It's nothing. I was thinking how impressed I was by your patience, Your Majesty.
Anyway, I will have you accompany me again tomorrow. In the meantime, please enjoy the evening off. I'll send you back to Erandhill by using a bit of magic. Greater teleportation. All right, I'll take this time to now contact Fluter. I wanted to look into something.
Why, hello! So good of you to visit, my radiant.
And here he is at last, making his dramatic return. It's the hero of the Colosseum, the most powerful fighter in all the land. Let's hear it for the Warrior King!
Forget everything you've seen today.
Of course, my lord.
There's no doubt that Nazarick is an overwhelmingly powerful force, but I still worry. There's an enemy out there with a world item, and we don't know where. The world domination approach has gone well enough, and I know that's what everyone else wants.
But I must bestow love upon those I rule over as well. This is my kingdom, after all. I must show it proper care and affection.
Absolutely, my lord. I agree.
Then, let us create a utopia. A land as sweet as honey. A dream that never ends. A carrot and stick approach, perhaps.
Come to think of it, I might be onto something. I could even see this bringing us some good publicity, which is exactly what I need to recruit adventurers.
What a splendid idea.
城塞の頂上で迷う未来水泳でも願う希望しかまねのように Just give me more
Pardon, Your Majesty? This city looks familiar, if I may ask. Is this Arventar, the Imperial capital?
That is correct.
I see. Then is there a reason we didn't pass through a checkpoint?
A trivial detail.
Kings entering other countries unannounced is an international issue!
Do not fret. Master Elnix and I are on good terms. I'm sure that he will look the other way.
If you say so.
There's good reason for our secrecy. If Jerknev knew I was coming, he'd throw a formal welcome for sure. Last thing I need is for him to find out I know nothing about noble society. I intentionally used a gate spell so that we could sneak into their country on the down low.
Excuse my bluntness, but what are you planning to do here now that we've arrived? I think it's time that I learned the plan.
I intend to invite the adventurers from the Empire to my kingdom.
You're saying this is a recruiting mission?
Indeed.
There is potential. However, are you sure they would uproot their lives and leave everything they gained behind? This will be a hard sell. It's a lot to ask of people.
This is exactly the sort of opinion I wanted to hear.
Sorry if I overstepped my boundaries.
No. I am a different type of entity from you. That's why some of my reactions may vary from those of a typical human being. Please continue to voice your concerns so that I may adapt.
All right. Then allow me to add this. You mentioned previously that you want to have adventurers to explore the unknown, correct? And that you would give us your unconditional support for that purpose. Then I must ask, does that generous offer extend to the new recruits as well as the ones we have now?
That is my intention. Creating an institute to nurture adventurers is the point, after all.
I didn't realize you thought that far. Then wouldn't it be a good idea to gather and raise some fledglings? People admire the strong, don't they? This is the Imperial capital. Why not publicize your mission by showing off your power at the Colosseum?
Ah, now that is a clever idea.
Do take note. The Empire has an infamous champion. Warrior King, he's called.
That is quite a hefty moniker indeed.
He's the current title holder. And although he's the 8th man to carry that name, he's the strongest so far. I just so happen to be acquaintances with his promoter. And if you like, I can arrange a meeting with him for you.
Look at the size of that place! This guy must be rolling in it. Then again, he is the promoter for the greatest champ the Colosseum has ever known. I'm sure that's pretty lucrative.
Looking good. As requested, I've set up a meeting with him for you. So be ready by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. I imagine we could squeeze in sooner, though. If he knew it was you asking for a private audience, he might swing for it right now.
That won't be necessary. We should be thankful he's available to see us so quickly. What is it?
It's nothing. I was thinking how impressed I was by your patience, Your Majesty.
Anyway, I will have you accompany me again tomorrow. In the meantime, please enjoy the evening off. I'll send you back to Irandil by using a bit of magic. Greater teleportation. All right, I'll take this time to now contact Fluter. I wanted to look into something.
Why, hello! So good of you to visit, my Radiant Lord.
So, Fluter, have my orders been carried out?
Yes, as requested, I have finished recording the data for the nearby countries. However, I encountered one problem that may cause some concern. The Emperor has discovered my betrayal, unfortunately.
That's hardly unexpected. But don't worry, I'll simply adjust our next course of action. Please be seated.
Very well. Oh, what is that?
It's your reward. With this, I shall bestow a piece of my wisdom upon thee.
Oh, my apologies. It seems I am unable to decipher this.
In that case, try this.
Thank you.
Hope this is a good gift. I doubt it even applies to the magic in this world. But at least the cover looks fancy.
Ooh! Incredible! It says here that human souls are like droplets that have separated from the river of the greater world. While the size of the soul may be varying in size, they all originate from the same source. What a breakthrough! Now, this is truly fascinating. It is exactly the knowledge I have been seeking. Wow!
Splendid. I'll take my eyeglass now. It's my only one, so I can't just give it to you.
But I'll need it for the future.
You'll only be able to ascend to the next realm of knowledge when you can translate, decipher, and understand the text.
Very well, my lord. I shall not fight you on that logic.
Thank you. Now, please divulge what you know of the Warrior King.
Quite a rare sight. A female rabbit man. They come from far east of here.
This way, if you would, you may enter.
Does what you see please you?
Yes. This is quite the collection.
Anything happen to catch your eye? Ah, that one maybe.
May I hold it?
Of course.
Interesting. Are these runes?
I'd expect nothing less from the Sorcerer King. Are these familiar to you?
Dang, so they actually are? I wonder if a player spread the knowledge.
This is a fine work. Who created it?
This was made in a rune workshop by a dwarven craftsman. They have a kingdom in the Ozerlesia mountain range.
Ah, how intriguing.
So tell me, Osk, how did you know it was His Majesty? I'm surprised you figured it out so easily.
Honestly, it really wasn't that hard to put two and two together. If you, the head of the Adventurers Guild, is reporting to someone, only one person from Erentel comes to mind. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Osk. I'm just a humble merchant. It's truly an honor to meet you.
As you have surmised, I am the Sorcerer King, Ainzul-Gon.
In all your glory. But I'm shocked. What could someone such as me provide to a ruler of such extraordinary influence?
I would like to battle the Warrior King in the Colosseum.
Funny joke, sir. A knee slapper.
I'm serious.
Do correct me if I'm wrong, but are you not the ruler of a country?
I am.
Apologies. Please understand, the complications are too many.
Do not fret. No matter what happens to me, I promise it won't cause you any trouble. I can put it in writing if you like.
Let me confirm something then. I gather a lot of information, especially about the warriors and monsters I plan to have appear in the Colosseum. Among the rumors, one in particular concerned you. Is it true that you annihilated tens of thousands of people from the kingdom using a single magic spell?
Yes. That spell is... all right. That magic is more like a trump card I rarely like to use. It was Master Jekneve's wish, so I had no choice but to use a major spell like that. It's one I can only cast once every 10 years. To use it again would take at least a decade.
Ah. Are you sure it's okay you divulge that detail with someone like me? In a way, you revealed a weak point to me, Your Majesty.
Please. It's not as if all my magic is incapacitated.
Fair enough, I suppose. One last question, then. Why would a powerful ruler of a country such as yourself want to fight against the Warrior King?
Well, the rumor is he was someone strong, so it piqued my curiosity. I'd like to find out if he is stronger than Gaz of Stronach, for one.
Then I understand. I shall prepare a match with the Warrior King right away for you, sir. But king or no king, there are certain rules you'll have to follow in the Colosseum.
That's reasonable.
For instance, we will want you to fight him with only weapons and zero magic, Your Majesty.
But the king is clearly a magic caster.
That's fine by me. I swear upon my name, Ainzul-Gon, that I will not use magic when fighting the Warrior King. You have my word.
Headhunter Rabbit.
Yes, sir.
What's your honest opinion on His Majesty the Sorcerer King?
One glance and I wanted to run for my life. What are you gawking at, you creep?
I just noticed your lovely hands. Don't take it the wrong way.
Besides, I'm more interested in someone like Gargaron, the warrior from Blue Rose. If you had a little more height and meat on you, then maybe.
I guess I won't be renewing my contract next year.
That aside, could Lord Ainz win? Honestly.
It's gonna be an absolute bloodbath.
Now our next challenger is a name I'm sure you'll recognize. King of the Sorcerer King.
How are we feeling, Warrior King?
Go!
I'm feeling grateful. Thanks to you keeping your promises, I've become as strong as I am now. I'm in tip-top condition.
Very well. There he goes. Good luck.
Come on, Warrior King! Rooting for you!
I am the War Troll, known as the Warrior King, Progging.
And I am Ainz Ul'Gon, the Sorcerer King, the highest class of undead. In other words, an overlord.
I see. Then I will fight you with all my might.
Oh? You're not going to make fun of my name? I thought that your race found long names to be ostentatious.
Didn't expect that. I see you're quite familiar with war trolls. However, I would never mock the name of the strong.
My mistake. I suppose that means I should readjust how I think when it comes to your people.
Not necessary. I'm an outlier. Besides, regardless of race, there's always a diversity of thought.
Right you are. I'm starting to grow fond of you, Warrior King. Will you join my side should I win?
Sure. If I lose, I'll pledge my loyalty. However, should I claim victory, I wish to eat you.
Huh?
Until now, I've never met anyone worth killing and devouring, but you're more powerful than I am. So if I eat you, I can absorb your essence and become even stronger.
That's fine by me. By the way, the victor holds the other's life in their hands. But do me just one favor, all right? Allow resurrection if I kill you.
Rip him apart, Warrior King!
Are you using martial arts?
You got this! Let's see some blood! Go,
You're an interesting one. I do question that stance, though. Are you inviting me to strike? I'd be obliged! As expected, he's distracted by fire, but does inhibit a wall troll's healing capabilities after all. However...
You got him in a good position!
Our countries are supposed to be in alliance, you jerk! As an allied king, you could at least show a little concern for me?
You know what to do!
I can emit negative energy and impart it to you with a mere touch.
This isn't poison?
No, because you would be able to recover from that with your regeneration powers. As I'm sure you've noticed, my powers have weakened your strength and agility. While trolls can easily heal injuries, I doubt you can heal your loss of ability. In this battle, we are prohibited from using magic. However, that did not include the use of magic items. I didn't want to give myself too big of an advantage, so I limited what I brought. This is a weapon I borrowed from Momon. Now, shall we continue?
Again? High reinforcement! Greater high reinforcement!
Activate!
That's weird. I'd hoped more people would be cheering for me by now.
I suppose it's tough being the away team. Let's wrap this up. Next, I'm killing you. If you admit defeat, we avoid that, of course.
No, I'm still the Warrior King. When I claimed that title, this became my resting place.
Then take off that helmet and show me your face. Those eyes, determined. Let me ask you, can you make a comeback? What techniques do you have left to beat me?
None. But it's not over. Beat me proper.
Then come at me, Warrior King! You have speed, but that's all. Aura of Despair. Level 1!
Strong strike! Divine skill! Single flash! Flow acceleration! Rah! Ah! Rah! Damn it!
No techniques left to defeat me, huh? I was tricked. Pranito Moe would scold me.
Hurry up! You can still win, Warrior King!
Jeez, he's loud.
Jerkmeat, what the hell? I hear you clear as day, you know.
Though you are the better fighter, there is one insurmountable difference between us. Unlike you, I am level 100. My HP will long outlast yours. Dropping his excess weight so that he can attack more quickly. A dangerous gamble.
Tell me, Your Majesty, would you say that I am weak? I know you haven't been fighting me seriously today. You're at ease and have pulled back on every attack. Am I truly that feeble to you? Just tell me. I'd much rather die knowing the truth.
To be honest, in this duel, I've made all sorts of magic items off limits, and prohibited myself from relying on many of my normal abilities.
Is that because you'd win in an instant otherwise?
Yes, but don't feel too bad. If you're the toughest in the Empire, then I'm most likely one of the strongest in the world.
That's understandable. It's been fun, motivational too, knowing that there's always someone stronger out there.
I can appreciate that sentiment. Touch.
Hear me, Sorcerer King, Ainzul Gon! I would like to witness true power! No matter how briefly, I want to feel it at its peak! So please show me the extent of what you can do!
Very well. I'd be happy to demonstrate the pinnacle of strength. High-tiered physical nullification. Release! Activate. People of the Empire, I am currently forming an institution for supporting adventurers. Many are tasked with surviving on their abilities alone, and I believe that training and cultivating them will benefit my kingdom greatly. But do not fear, I don't plan to use these adventurers as pawns of war. As you have seen, my offensive capabilities leave nothing to be desired. What I seek are people who want to go on true adventures. If you dream about discovering the unknown, join me. Your endeavors will be backed by my unimaginable power, which I shall demonstrate here. Death is the end, but I can overcome it. Behold. Normally, only high-ranking priests can use resurrection magic. But for me, this is child's play. Come to my kingdom and know an adventure like none other. Fly. Apologies about before.
As expected of Master Gon, you defeated the strongest warrior in the Empire. That was quite an impressive feat.
It was a good fight. Either of us could have won, but luck was on my side. With that, I shall take my leave.
One moment! I have a request. Sorcerer King, I pledge my full support to you. Therefore, the Baharut Empire shall gladly become your vassal state! What?
Seriously?
Think this through.
Are you sure, sir?
There's much to consider in becoming a vassal state.
Like, what even is that?
I'm afraid I can't offer a response immediately. So if I could at least get that in writing from you.
Of course. If that's what you want, I'll send something right away.
Perfect. Drop the document explaining the Empire's proposed relationship to my kingdom, and I shall respond accordingly.
Your Highness.
Know why I made the decision? I hate to admit it, but his cunning surpasses my own. He's seen through our plans, so we can't win anymore. More importantly, why the hell did he outright reject my offer to become a vassal state? He shouldn't have any reason to refuse me. It must have been something that went against his original plans. Perhaps he's plotting to conduct a terrible experiment on us. Or perhaps it has to do with the adventurers that he tried to recruit.
Maybe he's not a plotting kind of guy.
There is no chance in hell!
But don't worry, there are many types of vassal states. I'll do everything I can to retain some level of sovereignty.
Your Highness, aren't you concerned about your own safety?
Well, of course. But as grim as it sounds, the best I can do is convince him that I'm worth more alive than dead. I hope that's enough to save me. I might be the unluckiest man in the world right now. Can you believe it?
May I please speak with Lord Irons?
Oh, I'm sorry. He's out at the moment.
Well, no, that just won't do. I wanted to get authorization to enter the final stages of our project concerning the theocracy. Suppose I'll have to keep myself busy. I'll be on the 7th level prepping other work until his return.
If you're... truly in a hurry, you can always send a message to the Lord. I thought you were a loyal servant. Doesn't that include conveying important messages promptly?
It's really not that urgent. Forget it.
Well, now I'm curious.
I would like him to praise me for the work I've done is all. It's rather trivial to contact him for this. So, where's Lord Irons gone off to?
To the Dwarven Kingdom.
That's surprising. What business could he possibly have in a remote place like that?
You know as well as I that one cannot fathom the thoughts of a supreme being such as him.
It's true every decision he makes is weaved into a tapestry of schemes. I may never see the entire picture. Even so, we are his loyal servants. We must strive to understand as best we can, so we're ready to meet his needs.
Not to change the subject, but he brings you up sometimes. Not in a positive context, though. He says things like, have you heard from Demiurge lately? And he seems to be hinting that your plans don't sit right with him.
Why am I only hearing this now?
There's one thing I'd like for you to confirm first. Was there a method discussed to make the Empire a vassal state of the kingdom?
It was considered, but that would have required Lord Irons' personal involvement, which I could not ask for as a servant. Not to mention the plan itself would have taken over a month's time.
Take a look.
It can't be.
The Empire has officially requested to become a vassal state of the Sorcerer Kingdom.
But how?
I was in the kingdom at the time, so I don't know the details. This all came about after Lord Irons visited the Empire of his own accord. Seems it only took 3 days. Don't you have something to say? Pull it together. We have work to do. Lord Irons has ordered us to handle the specifics of the Empire's request.
Are you sure? You said he had doubts about me.
Perhaps, but this shows that he still trusts you. I believe he made the first move because he thought that you were being too reserved. He was likely setting an example. He's dropping a hint that you shouldn't hold back in future endeavors. Read between the lines.
So it's my methods, not me. In order to meet his expectations, I'll further improve my performance.
Yes, don't disappoint him. He must have gone in person to the Dwarven Kingdom because his plan is deeply intricate. He'll be quite busy.
の城塞の頂上で迷う未来水泳でも願う希望屍のように Just give me more
Do you plan to travel to the Dwarven Kingdom yourself, Lord Hines?
Yes.
I'll prepare our troops for immediate departure.
No need. I would like to take a friendly approach before resorting to bloodshed. Above all else, I hope to acquire Dwarven rune technology, including the knowledge of ores and weapon forging. Let's strive to establish a diplomatic relationship.
Yes, sir.
I'll have Aura accompany me as my main bodyguard, with Shaltir and a brood as our support. I stopped by this village to speak with the lizard man who spent some time in the Dwarven Kingdom. Is he present?
I brought him at your request, my lord. His name is Zenburu.
Hello. I'm determined to visit the dwarves. Can you guide us to their home?
Your Majesty, what's the purpose of your visit, if I might ask? Is it friendly?
You dare question his motives? That's awfully rude.
It's fine, Kokaitis. Zenburu hasn't done anything to offend me yet.
Right.
Now, I truly mean what I'm about to say. I have no intention of harming the dwarves. However, it goes without saying that conflict could arise depending on how they react to my presence.
I suppose that's all right, then. Have a bit of history with them. In fact, they've helped me out a lot. I don't want to return their kindness in malice.
Understandable. You have my word. Will you take us to them?
Sure thing.
Kokaitis! I wish to learn as much as possible about the Dwarven culture before we arrive. I'd like to know everything from the mundane, to their way of life, to what gifts they fancy.
Lord Hines. I'd be happy to share, but before we get into that, would you like to take a seat first?
Sure. What is the meaning of this?
Shaltir did this for you once, yes? I would like to offer the same courtesy.
That was punishment. No need for you to do it.
But the lizard man I brought to you was awfully rude, sir. It's the least I can do.
I told you that it didn't bother me.
I insist!
Fine. Have it your way.
This is awkward.
Tell me honestly, Lord Hines, how am I?
You're rather comfortable.
So, between Shaltir and myself, which one of us do you find more ergonomic?
Why do you need to know something like that exactly?
Well, I wanted an honest opinion. I worry I may require training for those who will mount me in the future.
Huh?
Take Mikazuchi, why?
Looks like everything on the list is accounted for.
And now with that, we're ready to go.
Relax. We haven't even left and you're getting way too excited.
You better not be thinking about meddling with me. I have huge plans underway. Now's my chance to make up for my mistake and show everyone that I, Shaltir Bloodfallen, am worth having around. Have I made that clear? I can't afford to mess anything up. Lately, I've only been tasked with grunt work like managing teleportation gates. I bet that Demiurge and Albedo think of me as a mere incompetent child. I'm certain that Lord Hines does as well.
Aura, I'd like for you to accompany me to the Dwarven Kingdom and provide security.
I'm honored, sir.
Shaltir will be joining us on our journey also.
You think we need her? Oh, wait. We're going on a mission to destroy the Dwarven Kingdom.
Certainly not. Although I am inviting her for her strength, the intention isn't to leverage that against the dwarves. Shaltir is one of our strongest floor guardians created in Osric. However, being labeled as such can be detrimental to one's growth, if not challenged. She has even greater potential. I would like for her to continue to grow. This is a fine opportunity to push those limits, as she will have plenty of allies around to support her.
Lord Hines has never felt that way about
Not to mention the capital is impossible to get to. 3 impasses would be awaiting you in the trails ahead.
And even if you're able to get through alive, there's a terrifying frost dragon that's settled in that area.
How intriguing.
One moment. Do you really think that we can reclaim our old capital?
Indeed.
I find that hard to believe. Why help us to that extent? What exactly are you after?
Now let us be respectful.
If a stranger walks into a bar and pays off your whole tab, you gotta wonder what he's after, don't you?
Your suspicions are warranted. But it's those sensibilities that make you a desirable ally. Despite their strength, I have decided not to align with the Quagua because they are beasts at heart. Furthermore, I recognize the losing side is always more grateful for help than the winning party. So this is a fine opportunity to build our trust. The second reason, and I'll be frank with you all, is that you have something I desire in return.
There's the catch. Then this is a business transaction.
Yes, though it may be different than you expect. I want to invite your runesmiths to my kingdom.
What did you say? So you're here to enslave our people?
Why would I do that to a country I wish to have diplomatic relations with? I merely want to invite your dwarven artisans to practice their craft in my land. It's that simple.
How about instead, if we gave your kingdom the right to purchase items before they were sent off to market?
No. The returns would not be high enough to warrant such a deal. I want to be the sole producer of rune technology. If you want our strength to regain your capital, this is what I'm asking for in return. When can I expect a response?
We'll need until tomorrow, Your Majesty.
Need I remind you, the Quagua are already attacking us? Forgive my comrade here. Can you please go wait in the reception room, Your Majesty? We will make our decision as soon as possible.
Just what the hell was that? I've never met a more fearsome monster.
Man, I practically pissed my britches.
The wickedness runs deep in that fellow.
He has an army of darkness. I don't know how comfortable I am with giving them weapons.
There's no way he could drink alcohol with a body like that.
We all know a guy who can't throw one back with the boys is suspicious.
What nefarious plans does he have for our runesmiths?
It's clear he wants to enslave our people.
Gentlemen, our country's in crisis. We have no other choice. If we don't accept this help right now, we'll be destroyed. Only one man can save us. And alas, that man's the Sorcerer King.
Your Majesty, after some deliberation, we've decided to accept the terms you have set forth.
A wise choice. Then I will lend you enough soldiers to reclaim the stronghold immediately, and keep the Quagua at bay.
As for the runesmiths, we have agreed to let them join your kingdom as you have requested. You may take them when you're done here. However, we would like to send an investigation party in at a later date to ensure they're being treated well. I'm sure you understand. Do you accept these terms?
By all means. I'll welcome your investigators into the Sorcerer Kingdom when the time comes.
They most likely want to make sure labor regulations are being adhered to. After seeing how Hero Hero's work treated him, I wouldn't wish that on anyone. I'll make a work environment so positive, it'll knock their dwarven socks off.
Then, let us act immediately.
I'm here! Hey, Gone Boy! All right, I'm ready for that special thing you promised me.
I'll gladly give it to you after the Sorcerer King's speech. Just sit and wait for now.
Come on, don't tease me. Just a sip before he gets started, please.
His Majesty has the alcohol anyway.
That Gondo can be so stingy.
Never had booze like that before? I'm sure you know what I mean. We don't make it.
I don't like booze that much. I didn't bother tasting it myself.
You gotta be joking with me! Drinking's 80% of life! How wasteful!
Same crap, different day.
An undead! Huh? A monster!
Silent! Be quiet! My apologies, Lord Ines. Did you say something just now?
It's all right. I am the Sorcerer King Ines Ulgun. I have journeyed from the kingdom south of the Azulesia Mountains, beyond the great forest of Tobe. It's truly a delight to make the acquaintance of skilled runesmiths such as yourselves. Now, what I have to say is extremely brief, and it will be a straightforward request. I want you to come to my kingdom and develop innovative enhancement technology using your runecraft.
I have a question, sir. For what reason do you want rune technology? Honestly speaking, it's an art form that's on its way out, even in this country.
What a beautiful black blade. Let me get a closer look. Test it.
Back away!
Be quiet! What a racket. Please let me finish. I'd like to know if it's possible for you to inscribe 20 runes on a single sword like this.
Frankly, I've never heard of such a thing. To my understanding, the most that can be engraved on a single piece is 6. But that was done over 200 years ago. It's just a record from the Golden Age.
I see. Then this must have been made with technology that has been since lost, unfortunately.
You don't know where it's from?
I merely acquired this weapon. I have no clue of its origin. The ones who created it are no longer of this world.
Then that is a terrible tragedy.
My wish is simple. This precious knowledge has been lost to the sands of time. I want to revive this valuable craft in the modern age. In order to do so, I need the expertise of craftsmen such as you.
I would like to try.
They were more enthusiastic than I expected. The presentation went over swimmingly. Man, I just love this feeling of accomplishment. I would jump for joy right now if I could.
That was amazing work, Lord Ainz. You really inspired those dwarfs back there.
You're the only man in Nazarick who could accomplish such a thing.
It was nothing. I only spoke the truth. What's wrong, Gondor?
I suppose that means the Regency Council agreed to send all the runesmiths to the Sorcerer Kingdom.
They have.
I see. My country doesn't have a need for runes anymore. They really gave it up that easy.
Yes, Gondor. That's right. But I'm different from them. I see the potential in your craft. You may have been discarded by your people, but you will be cherished in my kingdom. That means this is far from the end, right?
I thank you from the bottom of my heart. We will do our best to live up to your expectations, Your Majesty.
Starting tomorrow, we will be leaving for a few days.
Where are you headed, sir?
We're going to reclaim the royal capital of your people.
Your Majesty, we came to talk to you about your guide to the royal capital. He insisted on escorting you himself.
Listen, I gave it a lot of thought. I talked it over with my companions. I've decided to join you, as I know the quickest route to the capital.
Gondor, I can't have you risking your life like this.
I'm well aware of the dangers, sir. There's a treasury there that includes a manual of rune technology passed down in the royal family. I want to recover it no matter the cost.
Are you asking me to be accessory to your pilfering? Is that not a dwarven treasure?
Please, if a country doesn't care if it loses precious knowledge like that, does it really need a book about its secrets?
I have a feeling I will have a sudden bout of blindness at what happens to be your most opportune moment. Gondor, I shall accept your guidance.
Outgoing party! Open them up!
Seems like the Death Knights really put these filthy beasts in their place.
As one can expect. Mass fly.
The bridge! What happened here? The Great Chasm is perilous enough to cross on its own.
I assume this is the work of the Quagua. No, that can't be. An opponent strong enough to slay a Death Knight would have no reason to take out a bridge. Shouty, allow me to brief you on some details while we have the chats.
Pen and paper ready, my lord.
We're about to go into an extremely dangerous place. I feel the need to preemptively warn you. There is a formidable foe out there who was able to best two of my Death Knights.
I shall do everything in my power to defeat them.
No, that is absolutely not what you should do.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
You must consider what the enemy's likely course of action would be. What our opponent wants most is information, a gauge on our strength. They will likely send in a disposable strike team to measure our capabilities.
Find something interesting down there, kiddo?
That what I think it is? Pardon, Lord Ainz.
As I was saying, that's what I would do against someone like that. In fact, that's what my comrades would have done too.
You're sharing the wisdom of the Supreme Beings with me?
Shelter, no matter what, you must keep thinking.
Keep thinking.
Aura, what were you trying to say?
It was nothing, sir. I'm sorry.
Very well. Then we should move forward while preparing ourselves for the possibility of an enemy ambush.
There are still 2 more dangerous areas. The second one's a doozy. A sea of lava with a magical beast that... oh, well... Alas, that's not all. There's the Labyrinth of Death, too. It's a cave with countless branching paths where poisonous gas is emitted from every direction. Breathing it in could result in death.
Yes or no, undead beings aren't fazed by such inconveniences.
Hence, we shall protect the 2 of you with magic. Breath of Titania. We'll be able to take the quickest route through using this.
Incredible.
Easy peasy.
Indeed. We'll reach the royal capital soon. Ready to hear the rest of the plan?
Yes.
The 2 of you will deal with the Quagga. If they submit to us, fine. If they resist, do not hesitate to show them the power of Nazarick.
Oh, heck yeah!
As you wish, my lord.
I'll take care of the dragon myself. A frost element. Huh.
I heard that there are quite a few living frost dragons that make their nests on the other side of the Ozralesian Mountains. There could be hundreds up there.
Nina, you wouldn't happen to know the name of the dragon with the power over nature?
Huh? Sorry, no idea.
She said she would find out the truth once we made it back to town. A shame she died.
So the enemy had a secret weapon, one so powerful that you abandoned the plan and fled? Think you were followed?
I can't be sure, but we destroyed the bridge. It would be pretty difficult for the enemy to chase us down.
Golems in black armor, but you only saw 2. If the dwarves mount an attack on us, I have a feeling they may break out a few more. So, what's it gonna take to beat them?
They're strong, Lord Rioro, but they're no match for you.
Want one?
No, I'm fine.
You're lost.
Clanlord! A small party is approaching us from the direction of the Dwarven City!
Seems they found a way to follow you here after all. If they're that bold, they probably have some golems with them. I'm going to pay the dragons a visit. Yos, move all the Quagga to the abandoned district just to be safe.
So we won't fight?
Why would we do that when the dragons can fight for us? That way we'll weaken both of our enemies at once.
Clan Lord Rioro, what brings you here? Tell me.
First, allow me to humbly thank you for this audience, Great White Dragon Lord Olisar Dark.
You can spare the flattery.
Of course. Getting straight to the point, then. I've come in hopes of borrowing some of your strength to vanquish a group of invaders marching on our city. We believe the enemies to be dwarves. I'd like to teach them a lesson. If Lord Olisar Dark would defeat them on our behalf, we could offer a fitting reward.
What say you, honored wives?
Let's remind them who this city belongs to. Squashing a few lowly dwarves should be simple.
That's my sentiment, too. A Dragon Lord should instill fear in the hearts of those who oppose them.
I agree, but I don't much like it. It's terribly audacious of them to attack, knowing that we're here. Perhaps these troops are more formidable than we think. But if that's true, it would be foolish to ignore them.
So be it. Rejoice, lowly Quagua, for I have decided to grant your request.
Thank you. That's very generous.
But I will require 10 times more gold.
That seems like a bit much.
Your survival comes free of charge, but I have named the price of my assistance.
No, you're right. Of course. Just allow us to prepare the money.
Will you be going personally?
Of course not. I'll send one of our sons. Anyone have a suggestion?
This would be a fine test for my eldest child.
You mean Heijin Mall?
He's sharp, you know. Any dragon could defeat a couple of dwarves, but he may be able to negotiate terms with them that would benefit you far more.
Very well. Bring Heijin Mal to me.
I can't. He won't leave his room.
I know you love to tease, but now's not the time. Break his door down!
But my lord, you've always said we should take great care not to destroy your precious castle.
Enough of this. I'll get him myself. It's your father. Open the door now. I won't ask again. Don't defy me!
Why, hello, Father. To what do I owe this great honor?
I have a job for you. It's time to prove your worth. Apparently the dwarves are coming to attack the Quagua, and they need us. Take care of it quickly. Eek.
I was just sneezing, that's all. I'm terrible at fighting. Why did they ask me? Well, the dwarves don't know that. Hopefully they'll run when they see a dragon. Even a cowardly one. One dwarf, and I don't know what, and a dark elf? They look tiny. Is it a child? It's an elder lich! My frost breath will be completely useless on him! I bet he'll cast a nasty fireball and burn me up! Why is he wearing such a fancy robe? Who is he? Oh, my stomach hurts. You're about to enter a dragon's nest. Perhaps you're lost? I mean, please state your business here.
I assume you're the frost dragon that's taken over the dwarven capital. You seem a bit soft around the edges.
I am the son of that fearsome dragon! Oh, these people, they're not afraid of dragons at all. That can't be a good sign.
Let's see how fearsome you truly are, shall we? Grasp hard!
Please wait! I am Heijin Mal, most noble sir. Might you grant me the honor of hearing your name?
I am Ainzul Gon. But why are you making that strange pose?
This is a gesture to express my utmost adoration. Why, it only took a glance for me to realize that Lord Gon is a man of extraordinary status.
So you submit to me? At the very least, I can find use for your parts. Meat, fangs, scales, and the like. Stand up for a moment. I see. Dragons survive these cold conditions by accumulating subcutaneous fat.
Actually, The fat belly is kind of specific to me.
Interesting. So you're a rarity among your species?
That's a generous way to put it.
In that case, it would be a waste to kill you. How many other dragons are there?
Plenty. There are 4 larger than me, 6 about my size, and 9 that are smaller.
Splendid. Aura, you may have this dragon if it suits you.
Thank you so much, Lord Ainz. Just so there's no misunderstanding, I'll make it clear that I'm his superior. Whoa!
My apologies, I assure you I only urinated out of unbridled joy.
This is not uncommon with pets. In fact, Onkuro Muchi Muchi said that her dog used to piddle when it was excited to see her. Troublesome, but harmless.
Even supreme beings deal with pet pee?
Just think of it as an expression of emotion.
Well, then perhaps I too should urinate to express the joy I feel standing beside you.
How about no? Also, the fact that you suggested that so casually is kinda creepy.
Yes, let's leave the public urination to the pets, please. Otherwise, I might collapse in shock.
So, what are we going to do now?
I'll leave the Quagua in Nora and Shelter's capable hands. In the meantime, I'll take our new pet and go deal with the frost dragons.
Here, your great majesty. Beyond this door lies my father, the Dragon Lord Olisardark, along with his 3 wives.
If all of his queens are there, then I assume we're about to see your mother.
Yes.
I'm sure this is going to be a bloodbath, but perhaps you could save the boy's mother at least.
No promises, but I shall do my best.
That's very generous of you, your great majesty.
You needn't be quite so formal. So long as you are loyal, you may call me Eyes or Sorcerer King.
Understood. Thank you, your majesty, the Sorcerer King. The man standing upon my back is the Sorcerer King, Ainzul Gon. His majesty shall henceforth rule this land and all dragons that reside here.
You shame yourself.
Dragon Lord, if you submit to me without question, I will allow you to live.
I would never bow to a skeleton.
I see that my mercy is wasted on one as witless as yourself.
Such insolence! I'll grind you to death!
Brass hard! Heijinmon, which one is your mother? Dragons have valuable parts, so I'll be killing the other 2 in short order.
It's me! My son right there!
What? Did one mother lay your egg, one mother warm it, and one mother hatch it?
Yes, precisely so, your majesty. It is my great fortune to have 3 mothers.
I see. A pity, but I shall keep my word all the same. Since you have been spared, make yourselves useful. Gather all the dragons in this castle, and inform them of their new ruler.
My lord.
Heijinmon, collect any dwarven documents you've seen in the capital, and bring them to me.
Of course, your majesty.
And now, we wait.
This is our chance. Shall we open the treasury and peek around while everyone is gone?
Quite the little villain, aren't you? This item can only be used 7 times, but it's worth it. Truly magnificent.
All right, let's do this. I've contained them in this space, so our first order of business is to see if they'll join us willingly.
And if they refuse, I will butcher them aggressively until only 10,000 remain.
Just don't overdo it.
Maybe aggressively isn't the right word. What I meant to say is that I'll butcher them cautiously with the utmost care so that nothing goes wrong.
Use your head, okay?
That's precisely what I've been doing this entire time. And speaking of using my head, I've mulled it over, and I truly don't think there's anything here powerful enough to defeat our Death Knights. I can't help but feel that Lord Ainz's concerns are a bit unfounded for once.
Were you always such a dope? If you were really thinking, you would have figured it out by now. The only reason the Death Knights died is because they fell down the chasm. Their footprints were on one side of the bridge, but nowhere to be found on the other. They didn't cross the bridge, then they must have fallen when it was destroyed.
I don't see how that changes things, as it still means that Lord Ainz guessed wrong.
You know how perceptive Lord Ainz is. He figured it out ages ago. When I was checking the ground for footprints, he signaled for me to stay quiet before I said what happened at the Death Knights.
I thought he shushed you because he was talking. But wait, he did that to test me.
More like he was encouraging you to think. It's good to prepare for every possibility. But you didn't hear that from me. Let's say you figured it out yourself, okay?
Yes, it'll be our secret, of course.
Where did all of this fog come from? Hey, Yos, just to be clear, those two aren't golems, are they?
No, sir. They're smaller for one.
We've got a whole army here and they're waltzing right up to us. That's not a good sign. Don't do anything aggressive. Let me talk to them.
What? On your own?
If they kill me, then that's them. I guess you can figure out the rest.
Who are you?
I am the clan lord of the Quagua. My name's Rioro. So, what brings you here?
We have come on orders from the great and wise Sorcerer King. Our mission is to subjugate your Quagua clan.
Just you.
I'm more than enough. Now kneel and bow your heads.
I was told there were others in your party. Would you mind telling me where they went?
There's no need to tell you that or anything else. You may submit to our rule or refuse, but I will not indulge your pointless questions or attempts to deter us.
There are 60,000 Quagua here. It's simply not logical for a force this size to surrender without question, especially when there are only 2 of you and we don't have a grasp of your strength.
I'm not going to argue with you, but just so we're perfectly clear, we have been ordered to cull your numbers considerably and force your surrender if you will not submit.
Can't we discuss this?
Only 4,000 males, 4,000 females, and 2,000 children will be spared.
Choose them if you'd like. Once we're done with the massacre, we'll take you to the Sorcerer Kingdom.
Their bodies. She's a monster.
What the hell is going on? The golems we fought were nothing compared to this. We've got to make a run for it, quick!
We can't run. Where would we go? They didn't make any demands. They're just butchering us.
At this rate, I'll be finished in no time.
My chosen heroes, now is your chance. Although the enemy is fearsome, they're surely exhausted by now, and if anyone can defeat them, it's you. Heroes, prove your worth!
Lord, are you sure?
It's all we can do. It seems their demands will be met in the end. At this point, all we can do is choose who dies.
That means all hope is lost.
If they keep their word, 10,000 of us will remain. With a number like that, we'll have a chance to rebuild someday. I would have surrendered if I'd known. You could have told me how strong you were. Monsters! What kind of a wicked kingdom do you come from?
I have returned, great Sorcerer King. The other dragons are here to pledge their allegiance to you.
You may raise your heads.
I mean, allegiance is fine and all, but I was kinda hoping I'd get my hands on a few more dragon corpses.
This is unacceptable.
Watch your tongue, Trondulate.
You look weak. You think me a coward? I'll kill you! Grasp hard!
Anyone else?
Greetings, Lord We've followed your orders and finished the culling of the Quaggawa.
I see. They didn't accept my kindness. It seems they were more foolish than I'd hoped. Clan Lord of the Quaggawa, you may raise your head.
My lord.
I am known to be a merciful king. I shall grant you a kindness that you would have denied the dwarves. Refusing to accept my conditions was a grievous sin, but I shall allow it to be washed away by the blood of your people. So long as you work hard for me, I promise prosperity to the Quaggawa.
Then we pledge our loyalty, and I vow that our people and their descendants will serve you with all our body and soul.
That's a fine answer. I like you. Thank you for your outstanding work. You've made me very proud today.
It was our pleasure. Oh, such kind words. Although I'll never forget the mistakes I've made, the shame in my heart can finally fade away.
Yes. So, did you encounter any formidable enemies?
The clan lord's stronger than the rest, but not by much.
I see. Then who defeated the Death Knights in the Great Chasm?
Huh?
Aura, Shelter, come with me. I have a confession to make. Do you remember when I told you to be wary of our foes? That they possessed a force strong enough to defeat my Death Knights? It seems that was a bit of poor judgment on my part.
It's all right, Lord Ainz. I already know. You did that for me, so that I would think harder and expand my horizons. You only pretended to say a foolish thing. I'm touched that you would shame yourself to help me improve. My heart is overflowing with gratitude. You've been patient with my incompetence and thoughtful always. I'll remember this lesson.
An impressive display of personal growth. However, though my mistake was a ruse this time, I am not... all-knowing, and I'm just as capable of failure as anyone else.
Although I can't imagine a supreme being such as yourself making a mistake, I shall remain diligent all the same!
It's a happy ending, right?
Now, no need to cry, Shelter.
I wish you well, runesmiths. May you sharpen your skills and achieve success beyond your imagination in the Sorcerer Kingdom. To runes!
Don't you wish to join your associates?
You're breaking my heart here. I don't have the talent to be considered a real runesmith like them. Sulking aside, this food is extraordinary, made from such fine ingredients, and I've never seen liquor of this kind. This feast is a farewell that we'll remember for the rest of our lives. Now we can leave home with a smile, knowing that we're welcome in the Sorcerer Kingdom. Thanks to you, we're ready for a new beginning, a rebirth.
My apologies for making you come all this way to see me, Demiurge.
It was no trouble at all.
I've taken a look at your latest report on the Roble Holy Kingdom.
I'm honored, my lord. And let me say, I am in awe of your genius. Why, in no time, you got both the Empire and these dwarves eating out of the palm of your hand.
I'm certain you could do the same just as easily.
I only wish I was worthy of such praise. I wonder how many steps ahead do you see, Lord Ainz?
I'm flying by the seat of my pants. Like now, when I can't think of something cool to say. Speaking of cool, I remember a guild in Yggdrasil called the Millennium Kingdom that used a crane on its flag. Michael told me there's an old Japanese proverb that says cranes live for 1,000 years, and turtles live for...
10,000.
You see that far ahead?
No, it was a joke.
In that case, some of your strategies take on a whole new meaning. For starters, you've been using the undead for physical labor more and more. As time goes on, the whole world becomes dependent on them. It's almost frightful.
I assure you I'm not thinking that deeply into things.
Yes, of course. Say no more, my lord. I shall keep your words in my heart. Your vision of the future is mine as well.
I'm counting on you, Demiurge.
I completely understand, Lord Hines.
What are we understanding?
You spoke with the Robo Holy Kingdom?
Not quite. One of their representatives did come calling, though. Since they were in such a dire position, I thought we might discuss some countermeasures together. But you strongly insisted we should stand by our foreign policy, so what could I say?
You were the one who decided not to meet with them. Don't blame me. You said it yourself, didn't you? There's nothing that our kingdom can do against a demonic foe like Yaldabaoth.
Let's not point fingers, dear sister. The issue is we keep pushing all our little problems aside, and now they've piled up into quite the mountain. Since we refused the Holy Kingdom's request for aid, they had to turn to the Sorcerer King instead. In the end, his forces defeated Yaldabaoth and even provided some generous post-war relief, and developing an air of legitimacy.
If you didn't want them to deliver the supplies, then you shouldn't have let them come through our kingdom.
I did everything in my power to deter them! We requested the right to impose import taxes and charge fees for the use of our merchants and warehouses. The Sorcerer Kingdom accepted everything without a hint of resistance. What could I say? And now, on against their flags, their generosity on display.
Is a bit of charity truly so threatening to you?
It's not charity. They're plotting something, just like with the Empire. They didn't become a vassal state because the Sorcerer King is nice.
If we became a vassal state, we might be joining the winning side. Have you considered that?
Unlike our kingdom, the Empire has all of its nobles on a tight leash. Also, the Sorcerer King slaughtered us. Siding with him would cause a civil war.
Pessimism doesn't look flattering on you.
I know she's just taunting me, but why do I get the feeling she wouldn't object if I bowed down to them? If only I had Elias's guidance to rely on.
If you're thinking about Marquis Raven, I doubt we'll be able to convince his will. We should consider him a lost cause, I'm afraid. That aside, don't you think it's about time you ascend to the throne? You promised me my own domain, and I will hold you to that. Why the delay?
Father's waiting for the right moment. He's planning something. This is a trying time for us all, so please be patient for now.
Things will work out. Soon enough.
This was supposed to be easy.
Oh, Baron Montserrat.
Baron Delphi. Baron Rokeelan. Good evening.
To our faction's great leader, Baron Philip.
Cheers! My mistake.
It's hardly a drop. But you seemed quite out of sorts when we stepped in. What ails you, friend?
I had high hopes for my faction, but all my associates have failed me at every turn. The commoners are even worse. I'm the head of the prestigious Montserrat family. You think they would listen to me? Our lands are fertile enough. If they do the work, we'd be raking it in. I told them which cash crops to shift to, but they still won't do it. We don't have the manpower. Too many people died, or those crops can't grow in this climate. Excuses!
Isn't that how it always goes? When you're ahead of the times, the world never understands you. Ignorance is the enemy of progress and the bane of a genius like yourself. Right?
Precisely so.
It's a joy to speak with like-minded fellows. If only someone else would recognize my sizable talents.
I don't know if I'd say that. Since you have a backer, at least one commoner believes in what you can do.
Yes, Hilma is wonderful.
So true. And you can drink your fill whenever you so choose. She's crafted the perfect meeting place for your faction without asking for anything in return.
As a proper noble, I intend to pay her back fully. Though the whole kingdom will thank me once I dismantle our broken aristocracy. One's age and rank and everything.
Oh my! You're such a visionary, isn't he?
Yes, precisely so.
By the way, I hear you're close to the Sorcerer Kingdom's Prime Minister.
Indeed. In fact, I'm writing letters to Lady Albedo constantly.
Oh! Then you know of the situation, I assume?
Huh?
It seems the Sorcerer Kingdom is producing a huge amount of food equivalent to our entire output.
But how? They're a tiny kingdom and Irantel is their only city.
It's simple. The undead never tire, so they're able to cultivate a massive amount of farmland in no time at all.
How troubling.
It sends a chill down my spine. But they don't need that food. It's sent as aid to the Holy Kingdom. I've seen it myself since convoys from the Sorcerer Kingdom have been so brazenly traveling through my land.
That sounds awful, Lord Vianney.
The thing is, they're storing that huge supply of food in warehouses throughout our kingdom, and the excess can be sold at rock-bottom prices anytime.
We'll go broke! That's cheating!
Lord Philip, please keep your voice down.
We're struggling enough already. We can't turn a profit if someone's undercutting us that much.
You've gotten right to the heart of the problem. I knew you'd understand if we told you.
We need to do something about this immediately. The question is, how could I make the Sorcerer Kingdom lower their production of crops? No, this is good. If I can bring down the Hammer of Justice on the Sorcerer Kingdom, not only will my domain benefit, I'll be a hero. It's 3 birds with 1 stone I can't lose.
Huh?
I think this plan may interest you. Let's work together, gentlemen.
We're conquering territories at a good pace, thanks to the genius of Lord Ainz. It's hard to keep up. We're lacking in skilled workers, but it would look like a personal failing if I asked the Supreme One for help. Problems encountered during the transport of aid to the Holy Kingdom? What?
I get that we're trying to show the public that I have a good relationship with Momon, but this oppressive silence is really ruining the mood. Not that there's anything I want to talk to Pandora's actor about.
So, Nabe.
Yes?
Just making conversation, but how is Yuri's orphanage going? Have you been?
Not yet, I'm afraid.
Then, should we stop by?
All right.
Lord Ainz,
What is it, Intoma?
I'm sorry for the interruption, but Lady Albedo is requesting your presence at the Great Tomb of Nazarick as soon as possible.
Oh?
Thank you for heeding my call so quickly, Lord Ainz. I have gathered all the Floor Guardians before you.
Yes, so I see. Raise your heads.
Sir!
It's unusual for you to call everyone together like this. Did something troubling occur?
Correct. It was 4 days ago. One of the convoys we deployed to the Holy Kingdom was robbed. They were ambushed in Riestes.
I see. And the culprit?
It was a noble from Riestes. It was strange. He had a small army of commoners with him. Seems they blocked our carriages by force.
If I remember correctly, wasn't the convoy led by a merchant selected by the Eight Fingers? Furthermore, the carriage should have been flying our flag. In other words, Riestes decided to directly attack the Sorcerer Kingdom. If not that, then perhaps the Eight Fingers have betrayed us.
It's not like that.
What's wrong, Albedo?
Jeez, what's with that look? It's like when an office worker screws up something really bad and has to come clean to their boss. I don't remember any of the nobles from Riestes, though. Did I piss someone off?
Albedo, don't hold back. Whatever it is, tell me.
As you wish, my lord. If you will recall, we formulated a plan to take over the Riestes Kingdom by manipulating a witness note.
Yes, the one you've been sending letters to, correct?
They aren't personal letters, I swear! Wait, sorry, never mind that. I'm ashamed to tell you this, but the robbery was all his doing. You're surely thinking this was a clever ploy, that the Riestes kingdom is plotting something greater against us.
If that was the case, then I'm sure you've already looked into it thoroughly.
Correct. I have prepared a witness for you. This is the one responsible for managing that noble.
Do I know her?
It's an honor to see you, Your Majesty, and in such good health, too.
Before we begin, I would have you state your name.
It's Hilma Signaeus, Your Majesty, member of the Eight Fingers.
Okay, right. That lady.
I didn't know anything about this, I promise. Why, I would never do anything that went against your wishes, Your Majesty. This was Philip's plan alone.
I see. Well, I hope you're telling the truth, but I will confirm that myself. Dominate. Were you involved with the robbery orchestrated by that noble in any way?
No, I wasn't.
Do you have memory loss or multiple personalities?
No, I don't.
And do you have any intent to operate against us?
Absolutely not. Never. Never!
A decisive response. Very well. Even if your actions may have indirectly triggered this result, it would be unfair to blame you for the crime. I find Hilma Signaeus innocent.
But she's still his superior. His mistakes are hers, too. A leader must always take responsibility.
I couldn't believe it. I never thought he would do something so insane. I warned him many times. I had him monitored.
What you said is correct. A superior should be responsible for the mistakes of their subordinates. However, those words should be used by a leader to protect their followers. It shouldn't be used by another to force responsibility on someone beneath them. Albedo, if she is responsible for that noble, who is responsible for her?
Well, that would be me, my lord.
Correct. And by that measure, I am your master, which means this failure is ultimately my responsibility.
No, not at all, Lord Hines. I would never dream of blaming you for this disaster.
Signaeus, prepare several new policy changes and present them to Albedo. That will be your punishment.
Yes, my lord.
With that, the matter is settled.
Hilma, how are you? I have some fruit liquor here if you need to wash the taste out. The others are coming as quick as they can.
I'm grateful for your concern, but it's all right. They didn't do anything cruel to me.
Then what happened?
This time they took me before His Majesty. I spoke with the Sorcerer King.
And he didn't punish you?
Would you believe it? He was a kind and reasonable man. I went there certain that I would die, but His Majesty was merciful. He had an air of true wisdom. I see now that he is worthy of the throne above all others.
Hilma, they're simply giving you the carrot and stick.
Perhaps you're right. I've certainly used that approach myself, but you could never understand how it felt. It was so warm. It's only because I've tasted such pain that the flavor of mercy is so sweet on these lips. I felt that I could trust His Majesty above anyone else. More than that, I wanted to trust him.
Fine then. If that's your opinion, we must show him our unwavering loyalty.
Indeed. Now let's get to work. He's given me a new task.
Surely you didn't call me here just to pass judgment on her. Is there something else?
Of course. I'll get straight to it. That noble is nothing. But what if someone is using him for a much larger agenda? Should we change our approach? Can we conquer Riestes the same way we planned? I thought it best to ask for your opinion before we went any further.
I know you and Lineage are involved in the operation, but have you explained the details to the others yet?
I didn't assume it was necessary.
Then this is a fine opportunity to tell them.
And me too, of course.
Understood.
I'm interested in hearing your opinions, everyone.
Yes, sir. Operation Carrot and Stick is quite simple. We are to conquer the Riestes kingdom by inciting instability and then civil war. The citizens will come to beg for our help, at which point we will enter their kingdom to restore peace, then bring it under our rule.
Lord Ines came up with a name, but the suggestion came from someone within Riestes.
To be frank, the idea was quite clever from the start. We hardly altered a thing. But we need that nobleman, and now he's thrown the whole plan into disarray.
Wait, he did? Seems like everything's working out fine.
Hold on! on.
What is it, Shaltir?
I'm afraid I'm failing to see the issue here. We wanted trouble, and the foolish noble provided it, without any effort on our part.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying.
He chose the wrong target. They're supposed to be unhappy with their own rules. I never suspected they'd be foolish enough to attack us.
They might have someone much more clever than we anticipated on their side.
If we move carelessly, we may play straight into the hands of an unknown enemy.
Seems like a stretch. Super geniuses don't just pop up out of nowhere.
Are you sure that nobleman didn't do something foolish on his own accord?
Seems unlikely. The man is a dunce, but even that has its limits.
No, let's think this through. We can predict the actions of a logical man, but not a complete imbecile. Yet Lord Hines sees the truth even in a fool's heart. Perhaps the simplest answer is the right one. Perhaps arrogance and ignorance warp that man's feeble mind.
No, but how? No one is that stupid. Surely not.
If Lord Hines says so, I trust him. Humans are not smart at all.
That makes enough sense to me.
There is no noble wise enough to outsmart Lord Hines, so I don't see why we had to use one quite so stupid. Couldn't you find a smart one? Or are they all this useless?
Some are sensible. In fact, a number of capable nobles have already joined our side in secret. But we have decided to gather all the useless nobles in a faction together. A wastebasket we can burn when the time comes.
Ah, a fine plan.
For now, let's decide on how we should respond to this noble. As I'm sure you are aware, the convoy they stole supplies from bore the flag of the Sorcerer Kingdom. How should we punish such a brazen attack?
Kill them and move on.
Huh?
I don't think there's any other solution, really.
What?
So, we execute all those involved in the robbery?
That's not enough! Their masters share the blame. I say the entire kingdom should be punished for their impudence.
I concur, my lord.
That would be my judgment as well. But I wonder...
Are you recalling Lord Hines' words of wisdom? He told us that it is easy to rule with violence, but that gives birth to more enemies. And what joy is there standing victorious upon a great pile of rubble, correct?
You remember my words well, Lineage. I'm impressed.
Oh, I remember them as well, my lord.
How could I ever forget them, Lord Hines?
Me too.
Yes. I'm thankful for all of you.
In accordance with your wishes, we must refrain from laying waste to the kingdom. However, we cannot give them too light of a punishment either. I'm afraid this puts our current task on hold. We may have to scrap or at least substantially rework our plans.
I see.
Well, now I feel guilty. Seems like a waste to toss everything out just like that.
Are you certain, Lineage? Has our plan truly failed?
Huh? No. What a fool I've been. Lord Hines is right. I see now. So this is why you brought the Empire under your control. You want to use the carrot and stick on an international level.
And what?
Precisely.
Thank you for your guidance. Very well. Since we've received permission from Lord Hines, we'll give Riestes a truly wicked punishment.
What?
The Empire bowed to us quickly so they get the carrot, but the ingrates and Riestes will get the stick. This message shall be presented to all. They will see both your wrath and your mercy as clear as day. And suddenly every leader in the world will have to ask themselves, which do I want, the carrot or the stick? This is exciting, Lord Hines. Terribly so.
Indeed.
No!
Let us begin this meeting of the Royal Court. We have gathered here today to discuss the letter we just received from the Sorcerer Kingdom. Our convoy was sending food to the Holy Kingdom when it was attacked by a group of people from Riestes. We, the Sorcerer Kingdom, consider this action blatant hostility and are willing to declare war if necessary. They've placed their seal here, alongside the seals of the Baharuth Empire, the Dragon Kingdom, and the Dwarven Kingdom, all who support the contents of this letter. Next to them is the seal of the Holy Kingdom, and the seal of one individual known as Faceless, who seems to hold authority over their temples.
One question. Is it possible this incident was caused by the meddling of a third party in order to destroy our relationship with the Sorcerer Kingdom?
I can't confirm that there isn't a larger conspiracy, but frankly, even if there is, this falls squarely on our shoulders.
How far have you looked into this matter?
The truth is, we have already confirmed the culprit. Baron Philip Dayton-Lier Montserrat is the one responsible.
Montserrat?
I've never heard of him.
Whoever he is, I can't imagine one of our nobles doing something so obviously suicidal. This must be a ploy orchestrated by the Sorcerer Kingdom.
I agree. Perhaps he was afflicted with charm person or made to do something against his will.
Then we must hurry. The Sorcerer Kingdom will want to silence him. Call him here. He'll retain his memories, even if he was mind-controlled. After that, I think we should take the man's head. It will aid our negotiations.
What are you saying, you fool?
Father, we should not fight against the Sorcerer Kingdom, no matter the circumstances.
Then you would sacrifice the life of an innocent noble in an attempt to appease our enemy? I ask you, my son, is that what the future king of this land should say?
It's not that simple. Someone who witnessed the tragedy of the Kot's Plains should know that. Even after seeing what they're capable of, you still think it's wise to fight against the Sorcerer Kingdom? I'm firmly opposed to it. Call me cowardly if you like, but this isn't a battle we can hope to win. So yes, I would offer up the life of a nobleman, innocent or not. I refuse to see our nation come to ruin.
Your Majesty, Prince Zanuck doesn't mean to be callous. He simply wants to protect this kingdom the same as the rest of us. Rather than fight, might we do as the Empire did? We could submit ourselves as a vassal state and settle all this.
Are you out of your mind?
Try showing some dignity.
Minister, this is absurd. No, I'm afraid that's the one thing we simply can't do. How many lives were lost protecting this kingdom? It would be an insult to their sacrifice if we gave in so easily. I do value your opinion, but I cannot accept this.
Of course, I understand.
Zanuck? I believe I might have a solution.
Really? You're certain?
A herald comes from the Sorcerer Kingdom. Prime Minister Albedo will arrive in the royal capital any moment now.
Very well. Prepare the throne room and I will meet with her myself. Welcome, Lady Albedo. It's been some time.
Thank you for seeing me on short notice, Your Highness.
Now, civilities aside, what is it that brings you here today?
Well, just recently, we were transporting some relief supplies through your kingdom. They were stolen by a certain noble.
I just heard of the matter myself. As ruler of this nation, I would like to apologize for the inexcusable actions of my subject. Furthermore, if I were to offer my head to you, would that be enough to settle this matter?
Interesting. Seems I've misjudged you, Ramposa III. Not that it matters much. Though I do wonder what caused this change. Is it because you recognize the talents of your child? Or because you lost your greatest warrior? Perhaps you don't realize it yourself, but something inside you has shifted. Never mind that. Just a bit of idle musing. My purpose here remains the same. In response to the aforementioned attack, we're declaring war on you. We will deploy our troops at precisely noon 1 month from now. However, if you invade Irantel, we may be forced to alter the timeline and defend our territory. Now, I have a message from His Majesty.
You planned this treachery from the start, didn't you?
I was about to grace you with the words of the Sorcerer King, and you have the audacity to interrupt me? Human. Are you so eager to die you can't even wait a month? This is His Majesty's message. I do not intend to cast any spells on the same scale as the previous war. Let's enjoy ourselves this time. That is all. And now to answer your question, this war was not one that we had planned, nor one we tried to instigate. Rather, we were shocked that anyone would be foolish enough to provoke our kingdom's wrath.
The Sorcerer Kingdom gave us 1 month to prepare for their invasion. Their declaration of war seems sincere enough, but they haven't shown any sign of mobilizing their troops whatsoever. Maybe they were just trying to scare us.
Trust me, that's not the sort of thing the Sorcerer King does.
Is that assumption based on something you learned when you saw him?
I did more than just see the bastard. I had a front row seat to his duel against Gossif. That said, I still have no idea what happened in the fight. Gossif sure lost, but I couldn't tell you how.
Wait, that sword...
I'm just taking care of it for the time being. The princess pushed it on me.
Still, it must be amazing to hold one of the kingdom's legendary treasures in your hand. But you're telling me even Razor's Edge couldn't leave a scratch on the Sorcerer King?
It didn't, but maybe it could. Thing is, the blade never reached him. Anyway, the Sorcerer King's planning something. Call it a gut feeling, but I'm not taking any risks here. That's why I'm getting these kids out of the kingdom.
You found a way?
Finally, yeah. I'll have them catch a ride on a caravan heading towards a city near the Council State. I might not survive this war, but my teachings will. Maybe my sword techniques aren't worth much, but that's the only legacy I have to leave.
Master Vesture said the same, that he lives as long as our swordcraft lives. Maybe we should be thinking of the future. Would you mind if one of our disciples went along too?
That's what you want? I'm just happy you trust my plan. I'll make it happen.
So, it's been a month since we declared war on Riestes. The invasion has begun, but they seem to think that we've been holed up in Irantel, twiddling our thumbs all this time. I'm certain I owe that to you, Demiurge. Thank you for monitoring the enemy and keeping our actions covert.
You flatter me, Lord.
On a related note, thanks to some well-placed threats, we've turned quite a few nobles to our side. Fine work, Albedo.
Always ready to serve. It's my honor.
Now, moving on. The purpose of our current operation is to prevent other countries from sending support troops or otherwise intervening in the war. We've accomplished this thus far by shutting down Riestes' borders unnoticed. Since we annihilate both the villages and their inhabitants, there's no chance of information leaking. Although this has been a particularly savage approach, it's an effective one, born from your reliable contributions. But the fact that we've been so successful troubles me. Kokaitis, you tasted defeat at the hands of the Lizardmen, but I believe that helped you grow.
Indeed. The lessons I learned stay with me to this very day.
Meaning, there is wisdom that can only be found in the face of defeat. Priceless wisdom. Destroying cities and massacring their citizens is a simple matter for us. But simple does not always mean best. We have precious little experience with failure, a weakness that may lead to our demise in more challenging times. One challenge we're already facing is the rapid expansion of our territory. To manage our new resources, I'll need to assign a wider variety of tasks to you all.
And not all of us have experience in every job. So you're trying to build those skills up now, correct?
Well put, Demiurge! That's exactly right. So, let us prepare for the day when we might face a guild that is stronger than our own.
Yes, sir. Lord Ainz? I'm sure we're all aware, but our next battle is approaching soon.
Is that so? And who shall be organizing the charge?
Our Lord himself.
Then I'll watch closely in hopes that I can learn a trick or two.
I didn't prepare anything extravagant.
It seems our forces for this battle are rather limited. Are they needed elsewhere?
You're right. That reminds me, when we destroyed that town nearby, Lord Ainz let some people escape. I didn't think to question it at the time, but... was there a reason why you did that?
These are reasonable questions. All of you should watch this next battle. If you still don't understand, I'll explain things to you afterwards.
So our next target is a city named Enile.
Looks like it's by the sea. It's got a big port and a bunch of fishermen, but not many soldiers.
Their defenses are weak. Even a small force could break down those ramparts in no time.
I can't play cool forever! Well, that's a problem for future Ainz to deal with.
Forgive me for summoning you here under these pretenses. The truth is, Lady Negredo and Pastonia wished to meet with you, and they were quite insistent.
There's no need to apologize. I was the one who forbid Negredo from leaving Nazarick. It's only natural that I should be the one to visit her.
That's very generous of you. I'm grateful.
Wonder if I should have brought Albedo. She's Negredo's little sister after all, and I think they get along well enough. Oh, wait. Last time I talked to Albedo about her, she said Negredo should be executed! Never mind.
This is the room. They have been awaiting your arrival, so please enter.
All right.
Thank you for coming all this way, Lord Ainz. What an honor.
Think nothing of it. You may raise your head. What did you want to talk about?
Well, in my humble opinion, the massacre that we're carrying out in Riestes seems excessive. Can we not resolve this matter peacefully?
We cannot. Furthermore, you have to go through the proper channels to make a request like this. You should have discussed it with your direct superior, Kokaitis, first. So even if I did accept your proposal, it would undermine Kokaitis' authority.
I'll pass on the office politics.
As usual, your judgment is correct, Lord Ainz. Which is why I would like to propose the same matter myself, Aruf.
Which would follow the rules, I suppose, since your superior is Sebis.
Correct.
I understand your feelings, but let me ask you a question in return. An essential part of this operation involves the strengthening of Nazarick through experimentation. Is it more important to show mercy than to increase our potential?
I'd argue that babies have limitless potential, my lord.
Let's not hyper-focus on the babies, Woof.
Humans have potential, I mean. They are unrelenting innovators. I believe they hold the power to advance our civilization in new ways. Take these biscuits, for example. They are popular in Irantel now, but they used to be hard and flavorless. Thanks to the declining cost of fresh ingredients and emerging culinary arts, they have become a desirable product. Try one yourself and you'll understand.
Very well.
They're nearly as good as the fine foods we enjoy here, Aruf.
But is that not cause for concern? If civilization progresses too far, it could become a threat to us. We are strong, but we cannot grow stronger. Humans are weak, but always evolving. My loyalty is to Nazarick. I cannot allow anyone to overtake us. I trust you understand.
I'm grateful that you have granted us even a moment of your time. You have heard their concerns, and that's all that we could ask for, my lord. As always, I'm confident that you will steer the great tomb of Nazarick in the right direction.
Well, if that's all, then I'll take my leave.
Not just yet. Please, forgive my outburst.
It's fine. If you have something to say, say it.
Thank you. I do understand your plan. We must be purposefully cruel to Riestes to demonstrate how we treat a rebellious kingdom compared to a vassal state, Aruf.
Correct.
In that case, isn't it better to have more survivors? They can tell tales of their harrowing experience to the world. Oh, Woof.
Allow people to survive as witnesses.
My feelings aside, I doubt that would pass with Albedo and Demiurge. But you know, a lot of different races with different ways of thinking will be joining our kingdom eventually. This merciful approach might be in the minority among my inner circle, but in a way, that makes it all the more valuable.
I understand. I will consider allowing a small number of humans to survive.
But they might get mad if I tell them that. Well, like I said, let's leave it to future Ainz.
Wow, look at that army!
I wouldn't give them too much credit. It's just a horde of zombies, Count Nera. Judging by their clothes, they're likely a bunch of villagers that were raised from the dead. Seems like the Sorcerer Kingdom has been wiping out settlements and weaponizing their corpses. A truly revolting tactic.
Whoa, they can really do something like that?
There are certainly spells that can give rise to the undead, and the situation we have here matches what the survivors described. But that's hardly our primary concern. Look, do you see those two?
Definitely not villagers, huh?
They're special undead sent by the Sorcerer King himself. He has the power to kill 200,000 soldiers in an instant. So I'm thinking they're strong.
And I'm thinking you're right.
Still, not counting the zombies, he believes he can conquer our whole city with just 2 of his soldiers. Doesn't that piss you off?
Not really, I suppose. After all, I got you folks from the 4 armaments on my side, and your mythal-ranked adventurers. I'm pretty lucky.
This is a bit out of character for us. We adventurers don't usually pick a side during a war, but I'll make an exception for the undead.
Wouldn't it be nice if I could just surrender? Don't think they go for that, though.
Couldn't you hop on a ship? Take your family and flee by sea?
Probably. When I look at the number of survivors left in other towns, it paints a picture. A real ugly one.
You mean he kills them all, down to the very last citizen?
That's what it looks like. It's not conquest. They're planning on eradicating everyone in the whole kingdom. Make us all into zombies, maybe. It's just a theory. But if that is the case, there's nowhere to run. Thank you all who came here! Our city is facing an unprecedented threat. Let us work together to brave the storm!
We're Mithril Adventurers, the 4 armaments. We will be leading all of you in the battle today.
Don't worry, I prepared plenty of rewards for you daring adventurers. Of course, my soldiers will be generously compensated as well. We're a team! That said, be careful or you'll be taking those riches straight to the grave.
I'm looking for a different kind of reward, if that's okay. Count, you have some magic items that you've passed down in the family, right?
Yep, sure do. There's the 5-colored holy sword. Not something I'd give up easy. It's a weapon that commands the power of 5 different elements.
Could you give it to me?
Linet, no.
That's a valuable heirloom, you know. But I might consider it if you become my child's concubine.
She's mine!
Don't you dare!
The Lineage belongs to me!
I believe you have 4 children in your family. Your wife gave birth to your eldest son and 3rd son. Your concubine gave birth to your 2nd son and eldest daughter. I assume you're not talking about your daughter. So which one is it?
My 3rd son?
Oh my gosh! If I recall, he's only 12 years old. And that'd be his concubine.
Yeah, I mean, that was the idea. But I'm not a very influential noble, so why would you know the age of my 3rd son? Is that the kind of research you adventurers do?
No, this is something else.
Well, I suppose that's that. Yep, that's the deal. I have to have that holy sword. Guess I'll be that little boy's concubine.
Can't really complain since I suggested it. But I thought you'd try to laugh it off instead of acting like this. Was she planning all this from the start? And does she want my son or the magic sword more?
It's not the sword.
There's no fruit more tantalizing than an unripened one, you fools!
No, I don't know what to think. This has gone in a really weird direction.
We need to move on, sir. Don't get me wrong, I do appreciate you easing the tension with a bit of humor. But those undead will be on us in no time at all.
Good point. Prepare for battle! I'm depending on you!
One of the big guys has a shield and the other is a dual wielder. Anyone know how strong they are?
I was being serious, damn it.
Lilynut.
I've never seen the things.
Same here.
Then we'll keep testing different types of attacks on them and see which ones are the most effective. Archers, draw! Release! Second wave, draw! Release! Here they come.
It's so fast.
You're next, magic casters. Begin your attack.
Fireball!
Don't panic! Remember, our foes are undead! They might not flinch when you hit them, but that doesn't mean the spells aren't working! Keep casting until it falls! Fireball!
Maybe they're the strongest undead the Sorcerer Kingdom has to offer, and that's why there's only 2 of them. Let's hope.
Should we run?
Unless you want to swim, we'll have to go straight through that thing.
Captain!
Everyone, keep your eyes on the dual wielder. We'll distract the one with the shield. Once the undead make it to the city walls, hit them with all the magic you've got. We'll leave the high ground to you.
Strike lightning!
I think that's enough offensive magic for now. Can you strengthen me instead?
Okay.
Anti-fever protection.
Lesser dexterity and lesser strength.
Protection, energy, negative!
Haste.
Hard to tell, but it doesn't seem like we've put a scratch on it. Doppel. Heavy fortress.
Shine, sunlight!
Fly, magic arrow! And one more!
All right, hit him, magic casters.
It's too late. The other one! It's coming! We need them here!
Damn it.
Get ready!
Fly away and escape. We can try to buy you some time.
Huh? We? Why me? Fine, let's do this!
Whoa, was that magic?
What the hell?
Hey, see that? They've got an adamantite plate around their neck!
An adventure in red. From Vermilion Drop, maybe?
I can't believe the Death Knight and Death Warrior were eliminated so easily.
All according to my plan, of course.
a powered suit! Like we had in Yggdrasil! Does that mean they're a player like me?
I can't believe they were eliminated so easily.
All according to my plan, of course.
It took me a moment, but I get it now.
What? You do?
Oh, I think I understand the plan too! Lord Ein suspected that this person in the red might appear, so he reacted accordingly with his deployment. In other words, he sent an underwhelming force because he never intended to win in the first place!
Fine work. A brilliant deduction.
Yes.
So wait, am I supposed to know the red guy?
He's from one of only 3 Adamantite rank adventurer teams in Riestes. They're called Drop of Red. Our reports indicated that they operate in the north of the kingdom.
Oh, so Lord Ain's attacked a northern city in hopes of drawing him out?
Like a master fisherman, our lord seized his quarry.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Now the next step. We should plan another attack on the city soon. Only this time we'll handle it properly and raise everything to the ground.
Yes, exactly what I was. On second thought, that port city is frankly beneath our notice. I believe it's time to shift to the next phase of our operation and attack the royal capital directly.
If that's what you wish, so be it. We can always decimate the remaining cities later.
Yes.
While we're busy finishing up this war, they should have plenty of time to flee.
Make preparations, for soon we shall march on the capital. Every city and every town along the way will be flattened beneath our boots. Let's teach the world what becomes of a kingdom that defies